Hello guys, welcome back to another flight simulator video today. Today we're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator, recreating the Global Airlines first flight here from Glasgow to JFK, you heard me right. We're going to be recreating this flight that happened yesterday from Glasgow's airport, and we're going to go into JFK. So yeah, our flight time today is expected to be around 6 hours and 30 minutes on board this beautiful Airbus A380 registered 9 Hotel Global. So yeah, we've got the GSX loading the aircraft, and I think we should hop into the aircraft. Right, so we are here in the beautiful Airbus A380 cockpit, and we've got 407 passengers coming with us today to New York. And you know, we've got the GSX one jetway system, which is a bit disappointing because it just means it's going to take a long time for 400 passengers to come with us through that one jetway. But without further ado, I think it's time to set up the MCDU and overhead. So currently we got crew supply on, we'll leave the fuel pumps off for now. We'll get the no mobile to auto, the emergency light set to arm, and then I think that should be it for now. Heading down to the FMS, or the control unit, whatever you want to call it. We're going to hit the init page, and we're going to click the company flight plan request, because I think it would be a bit long to type in the whole route today to New York. Any further ado, let's do that. So that's been requested. Uplink in progress, and I've just realised the throttle appears to be at max. That's annoying. I'm gonna have to map that, you know, because it appears I need to reset that. Anyway, we have received the flight plan, and we're gonna insert that. Okay, boom. So that's done. And yeah, the route. In real life, this flight was done at 11 o'clock, so we are recreating that. So currently, right now in the simulator, it's around 10:30. So we're going to hopefully try to depart for that 11 o'clock. I know in real life it didn't. It left around 30-40 minutes late, but that's okay. But yeah, so the aircraft's looking rather nice at the moment. Right, so we've just about finished boarding all 407 passengers today, and we've also finished everything in the CDU, and we've done all our takeoff data and all our weights have been inputted, so we can see that we've got V1 of 130, VR 138, V2 151 with flaps 1 departure, flexing 53. Also important to notice that the actual flight this aircraft did in real life yesterday was the gate 34, I believe, the one next to us to the right. But when I do park there, that 737 MAX does unfortunately block us from parking there as the wind does strike it. But anyway, we've still got everyone on board and we are ready to go. So, without further ado, we will set the seatbelt sign on, start the APU. As that starts, we'll turn all the fuel pumps on. I'm going to turn the trim on, turn all the fuel pumps on. And then, so today we actually do, I believe, have a step climb, which we're going to investigate into now, just so we know, because we've got no ATC today, so we're just going to be going straight up to our cruising altitude of initially 380, which, let's see, I believe 380, which goes up to 390, then 400, and that's it. So yeah. So let's set the flight directors on. Let's set this to 380. We've got QNH 1028 today as well. I think I'm just going to turn off these floodlights as well. Ambient light can go down a bit as well too. And there you go, the integral. Yeah, that looks better. Another great thing I love about this fly-by-wire aircraft is indeed the navigational display with the Navigraph integration. It just looks so cool with the airport map, and then it's the same with the INI Build A350. Yeah, it's just a great touch from the team at Fly-by-Wire. As far as takeoff today, we're going to be taking off runway 23, so it's going to be a nice taxi. So APU's on now, so we can get rid of these external power units. We're also going to turn the strobe lights on and beacon lights on, and then we'll get rid of the ground connections. Boom, boom, boom. So, with the ground connections gone, we shall...
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
GSX for pushback and departure.
This parking is too small for
Departure
your aircraft.
Clearance requested. Wait for the doors to shut, which should be done any second now. So we've got a couple of cargo doors there still open. I'm just going to wait for them to shut. Are they shut?
Hello, Captain. We are ready
They
to
are
push back.
indeed. Not sure if I'm the biggest fan of the Global Airlines A380 livery. I mean, there are plans, I think, to liverize the whole aircraft, paint it. But so far, I mean, it's not the worst, but certainly not the best A380 livery.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
So we're going to be departing on what departure are we doing today? We are doing the... Let's get it up here, guys. We're doing the Norbo
Locking gear.
So that's Norbo 1 Hotel. There it is. Should we just have a quick flick of this before we depart? How do I get rid of this? Okay. So here we are currently at Glasgow ground. We're going to be making that initial departure from runway 22, so we're going to want to no left tail right depart push back. That initial climb.
Release parking brakes, please.
Okay, let's get rid of the parking brake.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So, with the permission to start engines, what we're going to do is we're going to click the APU bleed on. Should have been on earlier, I'm not going to lie, but we've only just realised it's off. But yeah, we're going to click the ignition start today, and we're going to start that initial engine 4. So we can see that M1 beginning to rise. I don't know what that strange noise is. The one thing I don't like about this aircraft is the frames, obviously. So I think it's something FBWa380, I don't know if they can sort out, but it's just something I'd like to see better in the future, to be perfectly honest. Because with lossless scaling, I'm running about 45 frames, which isn't the worst, but there's a lot of stutters. So, that is engine number 4 fully started and ignited. We'll get engine 3 running as well. I think that's my FS realistic acting up. Yeah, it definitely was FS realistic acting up. Okay. Yeah, my FS realistic is not being the best behaved. Yeah, we're going to turn FS realistic off, I think, just for the purpose.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brakes set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
So engine's not fully started yet, so we'll just pause for the moment until we have got all 4 of our engines on. So that's engine 3 all good, engine 2's turn. So M1 and 2 beginning to rise very nicely. Yeah, so ground steering, we're going to use the rudders today. Brilliant, so with engine number 2 on, we can now start engine number 1. And 1 and 2 are now rising. Flaps 1 departure today, so we're going to set flaps 1. Listen to this beautiful sounds. Just sounds great. Oh, just brilliant sounds. So, all engines are fully started, so we can cool ground and say we have got good engine
Cockpit
start.
to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
On top of
Unlocking gear.
that, on top of that, we're going to arm the ground spoilers, set, take off auto brake. Does that work like that? I'm not sure. Yeah. So after that, we can turn the master AP switch off. We can let the engine start back to normal. AP bleed can come off, and apart from that, I think we should be ready for departure. So we'll do a flight control check now to ensure we have full movement of all those massive control surfaces. That's right. Left. Up. And down.
Tow truck disconnected.
rudder.
Bypass pin removed. Left is
Left
clear.
rudder.
Right is clear.
Bro. So that's flight control's all good. We can set that back to takeoff configuration. So there go the crown staff. I do like this wing view on the A380 on the simulator, it just looks brilliant. Just a quick little control check there, look at that, real. Now, I'm not the best at flying the A380, I won't lie. I've noticed it's a very heavy aircraft to fly, so I'm going to do my best today to try and keep things comfortable for this inaugural flight. Yeah, so let's just put some power into those massive engines for us to get rolling. And then in terms of our taxi route today, okay, let's have a look. We're going to be taking November Golf Alpha, and we'll follow that on to holding point Alpha 1, I think, just for the purpose of today with the E380. Try to keep the taxi speed on just before it turns around 8 knots, you know, just because it's such a massive aircraft. So here's our first turn. Was it onto Alpha, I believe? Or was it Golf? Yeah, Golf. Turn on to Golf here. So here we go. Lossless scaling does not like me going outside the aircraft. Just keep the aircraft moving. Okay, that's good. Oh, Okay, so this aircraft likes to drift a bit with the nose wheel steering. I need to remember that. Not to overturn this aircraft. Keep her at 10 knots for now whilst we're going past the main airport part of the... Yeah, we'll keep about this speed, to be honest, because we don't want to overturn or possibly have a wing strike with another aircraft or the terminal. So, turn right here. Brilliant. Okay, so we'll keep here on Golf and then we'll turn it onto Alpha, follow that until we get to the holding point for runway 22. Okay, so in real life this flight took around 6 hours 30 minutes, so hopefully we can mimic that and get into New York for around... I don't know what the arrival time was for the real aircraft, but for England time around for around 6 o'clock for a 11 o'clock departure, so ideally around 5:30 England time for a 6.5 hour flight. Right, so I think that was a ground vehicle that just came into us. I'm going to turn here onto Golf or Alpha here. Being very careful on the ground. I'm worried these fire engines are a bit too close. I think you might strike them with this incredibly large wingspan. Yeah, it looks like we're going to take some stuff out. It's not good. I'm wondering what taxi this plane took in real life. Because this feels like it's a bit sketchy. Okay, we'll keep... Okay, maybe 20 knots is a bit too fast, but for now it's okay, since there's not too many sharp turns. We end very close to that Gulf Stream on the right. Okay, maybe we'll slow down here to about 10 knots for this turn here. Don't want to be going too quick. So begin our turnabout now. Really don't want to overturn this thing and end up on the grass. That would be not a good day for us. I think we'll just keep it around 10 knots, you know, cruise it till hold a point. Okay, let's keep going on it. Engine's looking rather nice, the Rolls Royce. Okay, so we'll keep taxiing here until we get to holding point Alpha 1 where we can just do up before takeoff checks. So for our takeoff, we're also going to be doing a flex takeoff today of, I think it's 51, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, so it's about 53 for today. It's fantastic. quite looking forward to this takeoff, I will be honest. I mean, from previous experiences, I'm not gonna lie, this aircraft feels slightly different for some reason. I'm feeling rather stable on this taxi, which is quite nice. There it is, massive, the behemoth, the king of the skies. Airbus A380. Alright, so let's be careful on this turn. Doesn't look like the widest taxiway for an A380. Keep that coming around. Okay, let's just hold here and do our final takeoff checks. This is a good place to have a quick stop. Okay. So park brake set. Just make sure everything's good. V speeds are there, looking good. Well, that's looking good. Advise cabin. Well, we can't really kick it, but yeah. Turn our landing lights on for takeoff. Everything up there is looking very good. That's all looking good. We can. Is there a checklist for this? We can do the line-up checklist. So takeoff runways, check runway 22. Cabin crew have been advised. Packs 1 and 2. I believe they're already on. Packs. Yeah, they're already on. So that's good. Packs are on. So that's good. We can line up, and I think we can do a show you a roll-up takeoff then for runway 22. Okay, there we are. We're moving. I'm going to turn the timer on as well as soon as we get onto that runway. Very tight here. Don't be extra careful. So yeah, the runway is just under 3,000 meters here at Glasgow, so it's pretty similar to that Birmingham, which quite frequently handles a daily Emirates A380, so should be not too tricky today's departure. Yeah, I'm gonna get a tiny bit more power. Okay, that's good. Let's get our timer started. Runway's clear. I'm going to put a bit of forward pressure on the stick for takeoff, and we're going to do 40% power. Okay, that's all stable. One flex. Yep. Now flex 53. SRS runway. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. Back pressure come off. 100 knots. Frames are abysmal. V1. Rotate. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that the frames are pretty poor right now. Positive climb gear up. Okay, frames are back now. That's a shame. Lossless scaling. It's good sometimes, but not. Sometimes not. Okay, we're airborne. I have to make some tweaks to my lossless scaling before we land. The aircraft does feel a lot more manoeuvrable than I remember. I'm not gonna lie, maybe that's to do with my stick sensitivities, but it's looking very, very elegant. Okay, so we can put our first levers to climb. Get flaps up. So yeah, as I mentioned, we're going to be going straight to 38,000 feet with the lack of that ATC, because we're not on vaccine today, unfortunately. So yeah, we're just going to have to fly this Airbus A380 today, up to around 10,000 feet for engaged autopilot. That's just looking stunning. There we go. So, barometer, I'm going to make that STD. I'm going to arm the autopilot. That's just a great view. It's just a monster of a plane. What's the scaling? I'll sort this out. I might need to make some tweaks. Alright, so just in a few more minutes we'll keep the seatbelt sign on. Okay, so just turning now. You can see the airport back there. Ah, the view of Scotland is just beautiful. Right, so that's nice. I think we'll take the seatbelt sign off now. Hello guys, welcome back, and we have currently reached our final cruising altitude here of 40,000 feet in our last step of our climb today to New York. So currently we are just about over Quebec, so we've still got about approximately an hour and a half to go, 2 hours until we begin our descent into New York. So yeah, so far the flight's been very good. There's been obviously, well, not obviously, but there's not been much turbulence at all. Yeah, the livery is just looking stunning. I do like this one a lot. But yeah, it's just looking great, you know. So in about, I'd say 30 minutes, we'll begin our, not 30 minutes, I'd say about an hour's time, we'll impart our arrival details into the CDU. You know, such as the winds, QNH, all that stuff into JFK. Currently it's looking 8 knots across, 8 knots of wind, not too bad. Temperature 90 degrees Celsius, you know, that's quite nice. Right guys, so as we can see, it is time to begin our descent. So we're going to make an initial descent today to 10,000 feet for around the Aruba waypoint there. So I'm just going to extend the range on our navigation instead. So you can see Aruba, it's going to be about 120 nautical miles. So yeah, so we've gone on descent. We imported our destination data. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, we got the wind at 6 knots today, 160 degrees, QNH 1007 today, so that's going to be quite nice and fun. It's not going to be the hardest landing today for us since JFK, although our skills in the A380 aren't the best. We'll have to go a bit ago. But yeah, so I'll give you a quick update once we get near to the airport. Alright guys, so now we are currently descending just by 15,000 feet, and we are just about going to be approaching the Roba waypoint for around 10,000 feet. So after Roba, I think we're going to be just setting the MCP altitude to 3,000 for the Rosley on the ILS-22 left for John F. Kennedy. So yeah, I think after Crail we're going to be setting the heading to around, because we have no ATC, I'm going to be guiding myself and we're going to set the heading to around, hard to tell, maybe between 280 and 290, and we'll let the aircraft establish the localizing glide slope. So without further ado, we're going to turn the seatbelt sign on. Ground spoilers are armed. Just preparing everything for our arrival. We're going to turn the LS on. Brilliant. So yeah, we're going to go to one of these beautiful wing views. So currently it's JFK, our weather. Let's have a quick look. I know the winds are just under 10 knots, which is going to be quite nice. And yeah, it just says it's going to be about overcast, 90 degrees Celsius, so it's not too bad. Got a nice blanket of cloud here. I'd say that's about 7,000 feet. Which is not too bad at all. So we'll set the MCP altitude for around 3,000 feet. We're going to be aiming for 3,000 at Crail. Just going to have a look at the approach chart for 22 left again. Where is it? Approach. ILS 22 left for Crail. Crail waypoint. Was it Rosley? Yeah, Rosley is the one we want, not Crail. Let's full screen this chart. Let's zoom out a bit. Rosley, we want 3,000, so that's good. Keep the aircraft ascending. So just stunning, isn't it? Yeah, I really need to fix this lossless slope. Sometimes we get nice and smooth, sometimes it just drops. I need to fix that. So I think we're actually a little low at the moment, so we use a bit of verbal speed. By the way, you can probably tell I'm not a real life Airbus A380 pilot, so apologies if I'm not following any real world procedure. Very much appreciated. Because I am just a 17-year-old boy at home trying to learn how to fly a, what is it, 300-ton jet, so yeah. I do like a nose view here in the cockpit. It's one of my favourite custom views. Now, I haven't landed the A380 in a while. The last time I did was in FS24, and that's not, it wasn't the best. That's all I'm saying. I think it was end up on going into Honolulu in the turtle livery, which was rather rather off centre line. think I messed up on touchdown. Yeah. But yeah, the textures in this aircraft are just insane. I mean, looking at the flight displays, you can just see dust and everything. It's brilliant. So yeah, there's the ground on below. Right, so we have just about reached the cryo waypoint. So we're going to be setting the heading now to 305 degrees. So we'll engage that now, begin our turn. So then we can activate the glide slope and localizer. So yeah, it's just looking brilliant. I do like a JFK approach. It's not the worst. So I'm just going to reduce this vertical speed further because we really don't need to be getting down to 3,000 this quickly. Yeah, we are a bit high, but that's okay. A bit low, sorry. Oh god, okay. Maybe that's not enough. So it's back to 700. Okay, that's better. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now then. Maybe 600. Just going to turn the landing lights on, there we're on. Just in case it's a bit dark on the arrival, because it's a bit cloudy coming into JFK this beautiful afternoon. Look at that. Beautiful, just stunning. Okay, we're just a tiny bit below the glide slope there. I really need to get a bit more practice in the E380 because when it's working, it's a fun aircraft and brilliant aircraft to fly in the simulator. But I'd say the main thing is performance that lets this aircraft down from anything else. Because apart from that, it's brilliant to fly. There we are. So I believe a lot of the time we'll be following this path here, but we're just going to be coming into here and incepting the localizer. It's making a left turn onto 22 left. And we should engage flaps 1 in a couple seconds, yeah. So engage flaps 1. Make sure approach mode's been activated, because it looks like it hasn't. So activate approach, confirm. That's done. And we'll arm the approach. Brilliant. You can see the first detent of slats has been deployed. There we go. Incepted the localizer. Oh, look at the clouds emerging there, it's just brilliant. Should be getting visuals of the runway in a moment. There we go, we've got visuals there for 22 left. city on the right there, of course, New York. Whoa. Trying to zoom in on it. Bro. Right, so now we're fully established on the glide slope and localizer. We're going to get the gear down, flaps 2. Bro. Yeah, the performance is not the best. I'm really hoping we can get smooth performance on the landing. Flaps 3. Oh, that looks sick. Flaps full. Oh, look at the city there in the background. Woo! Alright. So that's all good. We're going to disengage the autopilot. My airplane.
1000.
Chuck. I've got to pray for good performance. Not like right now where we're on 9 frames. I need to get off 9 frames. This is not good. Okay, that's better.
Hundred above.
Chuck.
400. Minimum.
Continue. Although our frame rates are 10, we cannot land this plane. Oh!
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5,
We are down. Reverse is green. Don't know how we've landed like that with about 10 frames per second. We are decelerating.
auto brake off.
Chuck. Disengage auto brake. Okay, let's get to a stop here. I need to just check with this actual aircraft parked in real life. Oh, the shambles with the performance there. Right, so apparently the real aircraft parked at gate 61, but I can't low-key find it on GSX. So we're just going to have to park there without a marshaller and request ground service, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, let's get the ground spoilers out. Just listen to that. Right, so we're just going to cross the runway here. We need to get rid of those landing lights too. Get those off. So it should be over where there's, I think, where is it, this gate? I think it's over there. Maybe like Latham. Don't know if we can turn it, to be honest. Good thing we don't have ATC. Well, actually a bad thing, because ATC would be able to give us proper procedural directions, you know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting to appear here on Alpha, if that's what I think I am. I believe this is Alpha, yeah. I just saw it there on that taxiway. So yeah, this is I&I builds. We'll just turn on this next one here. Cannot say taxiing's been amazing here at JFK. Bit of a shambles from me. Right, so I believe it's right next to that Latham 787. I don't know if we have room there, to be honest. So we're going to turn her. Hoping our wingspan doesn't strike one of these tails of these beautiful jets. Okay. Let's cut the throttle there. Yeah, we are approaching 61. I just hope there'll be room for us next to that Latham aircraft. Don't think we'll have a wing strike. Ooh, that's gonna be close. Nah, it's completely fine. So apparently we're meant to park there, but I don't know if I have enough room. I think we should. Park 61. Okay. Let's give this a go. Yeah, I think we just about got enough room there. I hope. It says A380 mark in there, but I think it parks like this, to be honest. Correct me if I'm wrong. yeah, wingspan looks about fine. Yeah, so with no marshal, I'm just gonna have to use my eyes out here to park. I think we'll park on the second increment here. Now we'll go for the last one actually. So we'll just about stop there. Beautiful. Let's get the parking brake on. Let's get all 4 of those massive engines turned off. Let's get the seatbelts on off. Let's get the beacon lights on.
You are currently parked at the wrong parking position.
No, because gate 61 is not recognised actually. Let's see if I can change our services to here. Get the passengers deboarded. Let's see.
You are currently parked at the wrong parking position.
Revoke parking services. There we go. I should be able to request deboarding. It's going to be by bus, isn't it?
You are currently parked at the wrong parking position.
I'm going to have to click it twice. GSX is such a bug, man. I hate it. It's one thing I hate about it.
You are currently parked at the wrong parking position. You are currently parked.
Okay, I'm gonna fix this, guys. Right, guys, so I actually did finally get the GSX to work. As you can see, we've got the bus coming in to pick the passengers up on the stairs. Probably actually deboard quicker than departing Glasgow with that single jetway, but oh well. We managed to get here somehow. You know, we were alive. That's all that's important. But yeah, so that will actually conclude today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. It would be appreciated if you could like and subscribe to today's video for future content like this. And yeah, see you guys in a bit.